The Moon. Earth's only satellite, diameter just under 3,500 kilometers, 1/4 of Earth's, orbits Earth at a mean distance of 380,000 kilometers, about 60 Earth radii. Relatively small mass. The strength of its gravity is about 1/6 of Earth's, which is the most likely reason for its lack of significant atmosphere. The Moon. Captured orbit. Moon's rotational period is the same as Moon's orbital period, both 27.3 days. This is known as a captured orbit. Because the rotational period and orbital period are the same, one hemisphere of the Moon always faces Earth, the near side. The hemisphere that's not visible from Earth is called the far side. The Moon, far side. First observed on an unmanned Soviet probe, Luna 3, or Lunik 3, in October 1959. The images were transmitted back to Earth and showed a very different terrain to the near side. The Apollo 8 astronauts were the first humans to view the far side in December 1968. The Moon, lunar features. There are two contrasting features. 1. Large, dark grey, relatively smooth lunar seas. Maria, seas, Mare, sea. Originally thought to be filled with water, but now known to be iron-rich basaltic rock. 2. Light grey, mountainous, highly cratered highlands. Terrae, highlands, terra, highland. Composed of anorthosite, a coarse-grained igneous rock. The Moon, Formation 2. Here are reasons why the previous hypotheses were disproved. The Apollo moon landings produced scientific evidence casting doubt on existing hypotheses, e.g., unable to detect significant lunar magnetic field, and analysis of rocks indicated average density of the Moon is different to Earth's. 1 and 2 suggest the Moon lacks a substantial iron core, like the Earth has, therefore they were unlikely to have been formed together. The Moon, lunar features 3. Collisions with solid bodies, e.g. meteoroids, are believed to have formed the many craters. Tycho and Copernicus, the most prominent craters, were probably caused by larger bodies impacting, e.g. asteroids. The Moon, lunar features 4. 2 other common features. 1. Rills. In German this means trench or groove. They are narrow channel-like depressions in lunar seas, straight, curved or sinuous, believed to be caused by lava flows. 2. Wrinkle ridges. Ridges up to hundreds of kilometers long, believed to have been caused by buckling of the surface, a result of compressive forces in cooling lava. The Moon, formation. It formed about 4.5 billion years ago. There are various hypotheses, including the condensation or co-formation hypothesis. The Earth and Moon formed at the same time and same place from material within the solar nebula. 2. The capture hypothesis. Moon formed a great distance from Earth, then captured by Earth's gravitational pull during a chance close encounter. Fission hypothesis. Rapidly spinning Earth caused a large blob to spin off and form the Moon. The Moon, formation 2. Here are reasons why the previous hypotheses were disproved. The Apollo moon landings produced scientific evidence casting doubt on existing hypotheses, e.g., unable to detect significant lunar magnetic field, and analysis of rocks indicated average density of the Moon is different to Earth's. 1 and 2 suggest the Moon lacks a substantial iron core, like the Earth has, therefore they were unlikely to have been formed together. The Moon, formation 3. The giant impact hypothesis, or Big Whack. The young Earth was struck by an object, Theia, that probably shared the same orbit. Theia and a large proportion of Earth's outer layers melted and merged. At the same time, a huge amount of debris was thrown into Earth orbit. This material coalesced and cooled, forming the Moon. The Moon, formation 4. Giant impact hypothesis. Scientific evidence. 1. Relative abundances of isotopes of oxygen in moon rocks almost identical to Earth's, suggests E and M formed at the same distance from the Sun. 2. Lack of water and other volatile compounds in lunar rocks, The collision involved too much energy, these vaporized. 3. Creep-rich rocks in the oxygen of storms and sea of showers. The hypothesis predicts an ocean of hot cooling magma surrounding the Moon. Creep-rich magma would have crystallized below the lunar crust. The Moon, Formation 4a. Creep. K is the element symbol for potassium. R stands for rare, E for earth, E for elements, and P for phosphorus. The Moon, Formation 5. Giant Impact Hypothesis. 1984, Scientific Conference, agreement reached on the origin of the Moon. Computer simulations have since confirmed the hypothesis to be the most likely. The Moon, Manned Exploration. Apollo Space Program. 1960, Program conceived. 1961, J.F. Kennedy announces intention to land a man on the Moon. 1967, Apollo 1 destroyed. 1969, Apollo 2 astronauts step onto the Moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin in July. 1969 to 72, 5 more successful missions. 12 astronauts have explored the Moon. 500 kilograms of rock has been collected. The Moon, Manned Exploration 2. ALSEP, Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments Package. From Apollo 12 onwards, different experiments have been carried out using ALSEP. Scientific instruments perform long-term studies and transmit data to Earth. Measures, analyzes, and monitors the structure of the Moon's interior, the composition and pressure of the Moon's atmosphere, the intensity and direction of the solar wind, minute changes in lunar gravity, presence of micrometeorites and secondary particles ejected by meteorite impacts, lunar dust, thermal and electrical properties of Moon's subsurface.